All right, hello everybody. We are going to go ahead and get into game 2 of our best of 3 series between OGHC and the Kappa Crusaders here in the We Like Dota League best of 3 playoffs. I'm Brian Saboninger, and through various technical difficulties and frustrations on my end, I'm yet again solo casting. I was going to pull in Diddy Mitch, but was having some issues with the in-game client, which is now working with my voice, apparently, which is just frustrating to no end. But regardless, here we are, folks. So let's go ahead and talk about the draft here. On the side of OGHC, we have the Enigma and Darkseer pickups, which I feel like I'm not sure how those two synergize together. I kind of feel like they do somewhat of the same thing. The black hole and the vacuum kind of do the same thing-ish. But yeah, lots of control on the side of OGHC. So admittedly, I'm not the most experienced when it comes to talking about draft compositions and all that. So they are two very control-focused heroes. So I do like to see that. That will be very interesting to see how that all plays out. But yeah, and then on the side of the Kappa Crusaders, we do have the Skywrath Mage and the Brewmaster. They did use the Skywrath Mage to full effect last match, of course. The Skywrath Mage just went ham and put on a clinic on how to pwn noobs, if you will. Gosh, I just don't know if everything's working right here. I think it is, but you never know. I seriously hate OBS sometimes. It's just the worst sometimes, you know? Let's see. I think that'll do it for... Okay, there we go. Okay, we got the sound going. We got the game sound going, so we're all good. But yeah, a lot of the same bans coming out. We do see Kappa Crusaders banning out that Death Prophet. I kind of feel like if in the last match, if Field Studies had a better matchup in the mid lane, he would have done just so well on that Death Prophet. But Viper is definitely a tough lane. Tough lane for Death Prophet. And they do go ahead and ban out the Silencer and the Phantom Assassin, which are all heroes that we saw in the last match. Okay, and we do have the Lich, so we are going to see a little bit of Wombo combo goodness coming out here. I fully expect to see some nice black holes in Chain Frost, so hold on to your butts, people. Here we go. We are going to have the Faceless Void banned out as well. Of course, Faceless Void synergizes really well with the Skywrath Mage and the Tide Hunter. I am drinking wine out of a coffee cup, which is delicious. Some of my homemade wine. And I am dropping frames like crazy, which is just always a fun time. My internet has just been suffering tonight, and I don't know why. But that's just the way it is sometimes. Okay. So I would expect to see... Okay, and a sniper. They're going all-out team fight here. And I actually think they might do okay in the laning phase. Darkseer, of course, dominates the lane with the Ion Shell. They'll probably have Enigma in the jungle. Lich lanes well as long as he doesn't have to rotate a ton. You know, he's just really good at keeping the lane pulled under your own tower, making things safe for Sniper. So I would assume we'll see Lich and Sniper lane together, I would think. It is interesting to see this Visage pickup. You don't see Visage picked up too much, at least at the lower skill levels. So Visage is quite the enigma. Yeah, that Gravekeeper's Cloak really just helps him to tank up. And he does become quite frail once that's gone, though. And the Soul Assumption is, you know, just a wonderful nuke as well. And of course the familiars to let him split push and just harass and stun. But you know, you just really need a lot of Just a lot of good micro skills to play Visage well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see how that plays out. And this is a potential elimination match. If OGHC lose this match, they will be out of the tournament, as this is the best of 3 single elimination phase of our We Like Dota League here. And I believe matches are going to be going well into December. So I think our final match is scheduled for a best of 5 on December 17th or 19th or something like that. And we do see the Magnus banned out. Not entirely sure OGHC would go for Magnus. It wouldn't surprise me, though, given how wombo combo heavy this lineup is. I would think they'll probably just go for a solid right clicker. It wouldn't surprise me to see like a Luna or somebody who does like a lot of AoE damage. I would assume one of the first items we'll see on Sniper, or one of his first core items, will be a Maelstrom.
5 seconds remaining.
But this Kappa Crusaders lineup, you know, the Brewmaster can get off a nice split. If he's able to get off the split before the vacuum and the dark hole or black hole and the chain frost and everything, that'll help him to really survive a lot of these engagements. And then, of course, with the Tidehunter Ravage, they do have a fair bit of counter initiation. So, yeah, I am a little bit worried for OGHC. The Brewmaster and the Tidehunter and the Visage, to some regards, really tank up quite a bit. So if they're able to just survive through the vacuum, black hole, chain frost, sniper right clicks, they'll be able to, you know, pull off the Brewmaster split and a nice Ravage and just turn things around in an instant. And they'll also have that Skywrath Mage ultimate. Of course, the Gyrocopter. So they are going for the classic old man weird gnome dwarf thing lineup with the Sniper and the Gyrocopter.
Drow Ranger.
And this Drow Ranger will synergize quite well with the Vicious and the Skywrath Mage. That Drow Ranger, what's that passive that she has? Her E passive. It's like accuracy or something. And I'll go ahead and turn off the draft screen. There we go. Our team is all old men.
Prepare for battle.
Yes, it is. All old men. I like that. And let me type. Okay, we'll go ahead and take a look at the heroes here. We're gonna have Gannis playing the safe lane Gyrocopter. Field studies will be on the Sniper. Looks like he's gonna go mid. Not a fan of the Sniper mid. We did see quite a lot of mid smoke ganks last match, so Death Prophet is already somewhat vulnerable to ganks, and Sniper is absolutely vulnerable to ganks in the mid lane, so that's no fun. And we'll have Fizmo on the either off lane or jungling Enigma. We'll see how that plays out. Bunny is going to be on the Darkseer with a really weird Darkseer forehead. Craniomancer. Perfect. And that does leave the Errant Pixel playing the support Lich.
The battle begins.
So it is looking like this Fizmo Enigma will be a jungling Enigma. And on the side of Kappa Crusaders, we do have Booker DeWitt captaining the team and playing the Visage. We have Dare yet again on his Skywrath Mage, who just went crazy on Skywrath Mage last match. We do have P-Frog on the Drow Ranger with a interesting head slot for her. The Drow Ranger's headdress. Interesting. And that does put Busby mid on the Brewmaster and Eris Nex on the solo offlane Tidehunter. Did I miss anyone? No, I did not. So it looks like this is going to be this should Skywrath Drow Ranger tri-lane, which makes a ton of sense because Drow Ranger is just very farm dependent and very very open to ganks as well. So I do think this Gyrocopter Lich lane will be a pretty strong lane. You can really harass out this Tidehunter really quite well with the homing missile. He hasn't skilled anything up quite yet, but as you can see, that Anchor Smash does reduce the damage quite a bit, so that's going to make laning a little bit more difficult once that gets leveled up. And of course, we do have the Enigma going for the diabolic, what is it, demonic conversion in the Malefice build to go ahead and jungle up a little bit. And we do have Tidehunter potentially doing some pulls into the lane here. So as long as Enigma is somewhat close, it is a bit of like a pseudo tri lane, and oh boy, is Tidehunter gonna go in here? I don't know. I don't think Enigma knows that he's there, and he does now. And I feel like Tidehunter, if these other guys would just come on down, they'd be able to take out the Tidehunter no problem. They go ahead and ping him out. The Soul Ring is... No, he doesn't have Soul Ring. I'm not sure what I heard. I guess I heard the Malefice. I guess that's what I heard. And this Tidehunter is just showing no fear. And he's going to go ahead and try and pull in this Satyr into the lane. And he does go ahead and get that off, so he's going to get a little bit more farm out of that. Currently, Enigma is leading the CS chart, but that is because, you know, he is getting uncontested jungle farm, but it is less efficient than getting side lane farm, so do keep that in mind. Drow Ranger, for the amount of space that she has been given in this tri lane, not really farming up too well. Only 3 CS compared to Bunny's 6, so that does make life tough. Darkseer is a very good offlaner in my opinion. He does have that nice Ion Shell to just really kind of keep the lanes constantly pushed and help secure farm. So it looks like Gannis is going to kind of go for this value point build, opting for 1 point in each, the Rocket Barrage, Homing Missile, and Flat Cannon. I think I'd like to see the Flat Cannon kind of hold off and maybe build into this Homing Missile a little bit more. In the mid lane, Sniper's going for the Headshot Take Aim build. I was just talking about how much I love Shrapnel, so I'd like to see some Shrapnel harass. I do like that. Brewmaster does have a bottle. Sniper not opting for the bottle. No surprises there. It is tough to contest rune control on the Sniper. And Drow Ranger is starting to kind of get some decent farm back in here. So she is sitting at 8 CS. Now 9. Lacking a little bit further behind the Gyrocopter. But this Tidehunter, I feel like Tidehunter is doing a decent job of getting about as much as he can out of this lane. He is trying to pull these creeps to kind of deny some farm to the Enigma. And oh boy, we have a Brewmaster rotation. He does have the haste rune, and it looks like he's going to be looking out for the Enigma, and they just have no idea that Busby's up here on this Brewmaster. And he's going to try and sniff out the Enigma, but he hasn't found anyone yet. And I can't help but think that Enigma is a little vulnerable with, okay, there's some Eidolons. They still have no idea that Busby's here on this Brewmaster. And yeah, I kind of feel like you gotta put... Oh, and in the middle lane, they do decide to go on to the Sniper. Busby does come down and throw out the Drunken Haze, and it looks like Sniper's going to be quite alright. Though he is starting to run low on regen. And Visage just sitting here. Did take some tower hits. Is going to go ahead and suck down a Tango. And, oh boy, poor field studies. He's going to have to get out of here or he might die. I don't think the Visage is going to go ahead and go on in. So I think he'll be quite alright. And we do have a rotation from the Skywrath Mage. He is going to go ahead and throw out the Concussive Bolt. just to harass Darkseer out of there a little bit. And I can't help but feel that they just want to do something about this sniper, but they haven't been able to quite yet contest it. He just go ahead and build the Wraith Band. And Tidehunter is going to go ahead and rotate up into the jungle here and eat a ton of Malefice and Eidolon damage. I think Tidehunter will be just okay. He does have the Kraken Shell, 2 levels in the Kraken Shell, so he is quite tanky. Brewmaster is going to go ahead and rotate up, and Enigma says, I'm getting the crap out of town, man. So we do have 3 in the jungle here, and he just did pop his Soul Ring, so he's going to be low on health. And the Drunken Haze will go ahead and be thrown out on the Enigma. And Enigma's going to try and play some Ring Around the Rosie here. Sniper trying to do as many right clicks as possible. And that's going to be your first blood. Tidehunter taking down the Enigma. We are going to go ahead and have Lich rotate in. And we'll see if they're able to turn this around here. Visage taking quite a bit of tower hits. He might go down. They need to go ahead and throw out the Soul Assumption, but no, Sniper gets the last right click there. Brewmaster is going to go ahead and get off the split as they go ahead and right click down Sniper. Just one more right click and they'll get him. Oh, he's going to live. Oh my gosh, he's going to make it. They're going to go ahead and chase him out, but no, he's going to be just fine. And on the back of this Brewmaster, Gyrocopter is engaging, throws down the homing missile, eating a face full of rockets. The black hole is going to catch out Brewmaster, and that's going to be a dead Brewmaster. And oh my goodness, you guys. What an exciting 2 minutes this has been. And that's going to take the score to 1-2 in favor of OGHC. And I tell you what a clutch black hole from Fizmo. So taking a look at the net worth, that is going to put OGHC on top of the net worth, though just barely. So taking a look at the charts, that does put OGHC kind of in the lead at about 1,500 gold. Taking a look at the farm, Drow Ranger sitting at about 22 compared to the 25 CS of Gyrocopter. And yeah, I think Kappa just got maybe a little over eager there to try and make some plays happen, and just wound up giving away 2 kills there. And Brewmaster getting cheeky yet again in this jungle. Gonna go ahead and throw down the Drunken Haze on Sniper. We'll be satisfied to just go ahead and back off. At level 1, 45% mischance. That's nice. That's a nice little debuff there. And we do have 3 heroes in the vicinity here for Kappa Crusaders. The Brewmaster, Visage, and Tidehunter. And OGHC are going to go ahead and rotate down. Homing Missile is going to be thrown out onto the Tidehunter. That is going to be a... How long of a stun is that right now? That is a 2.2 second stun. Ravage is going to be used. Catches out 4. And Lich getting a little overzealous here. Call Down is going to be used. That's going to be a dead Visage. And so that's another kill going the way of OGHC. And Lich is getting quite low here. He needs to get out of here, or he might die to the Brewmaster. They are going to go ahead and use the Boulder Toss from the Earth Panda, and that will take down Lich. And the Homing Missile will go down on the Tidehunter yet again, and we do have 4 here. And they are going to go ahead and do a nice Delta split. I think they're going to go ahead and chase out the Tidehunter. And there's the Rocket Barrage, and that's going to be a dead Tidehunter. And Gyrocopter eating quite a bit of damage from the Skywrath Mage and the Brewmaster. Arcane Bolt going down on the Darkseer. And Darkseer eating quite a bit of damage from the Visage and the Skywrath Mage. He is going to go ahead and activate the Surge to get out of there. And this has just been such an aggressive first couple 10 minutes. It was quiet for about 6 or 7 minutes, but then it started to just really heat up. So neither team really wants to just sit in lane and farm up, except for this Drow Ranger, which I think that benefits Kappa Crusaders, you know, if they can go ahead and get this Drow Ranger farmed up. Because she is sitting at about 3,200 gold. Sniper is just barely behind. So I do think as far as late game carry potential goes, I would put Drow Ranger and Sniper on the same page there. So they are going to deploy the homing missile on the Brewmaster to kind of just zone him out. And we do have Enigma joining the fight as well. And we have Darkseer going into the off lane to maybe try and contest a little bit of farm for the Drow Ranger. And we'll have a top lane rotation for the Gyrocopter. Looking at the item progression, it looks like we're going to have Enigma saving up for a Blink Dagger, which will be a nice initiation item. Looking like Darkseer is going to go for a Mechanism, no surprises there. Lich going to go for the Tranquil Boots. Anything else of note? Looks like we're going to have Drow Ranger maybe building into a Yasha, question mark? That would make a ton of sense. Yasha's a nice item on her. Really building quite heavily into that Precision aura. Obviously not really expecting to... looks like she's just expecting to just kind of farm up and take it easy the first couple minutes. Which she is starting to pull ahead in net worth. And in farm, making quite a recovery, so... OGHC have been wasting... hold on a second, here we go. Ancient Seal is going to be used on the Enigma, and that's going to be a 3v1 gank. Taking out the Enigma, and these Eidolons are going to try and maybe get a little bit of damage done. And while at the same time, we do have the Tier 1 tower going down on the side of OGHC, with Drow Ranger getting that last hit in there. So yeah, she is going to go ahead and build into the Yasha. And yeah, it seems like Kappa is trying to do maybe a bit of a hashtag space created type situation for the Drow Ranger. Let the Drow Ranger farm up while you have Skywrath, Brew, Tidehunter, and Visage just kind of fight 4v5, which those are all very tanky heroes. So, and hold on, Darkseer a little bit out of position here. And does go ahead and activate the Surge and will be quite alright. Yeah, it seems like while OGHC have been kind of fighting 5v4, Drow Ranger has been farming up and, yeah, they've been getting a little bit more out of the map. A little bit more out of the map than what OGHC have been able to do, so... I think if I'm OGHC, I just decide to start pressuring and fighting as 5 and pushing some of these towers. And Drow's going to go ahead and use the Gust. The Black Hole will only catch out one to go ahead and deploy the Chain Frost, and it's bouncing around like crazy. The Ravage is going to be used as a counter initiation, catching out 2. The Calldown only hit 1. The Skywrath Mage ultimate not going to hit anyone. And Enigma will go down thanks to the Brewmaster getting off that Brewmaster split. Homing Missile going to be deployed on the Brewmaster. And the Rocket Barrage going to be used, and that's 3 down on the side of Kappa Crusaders. Gyrocopter getting that last hit on the Skywrath Mage. Darkseer also getting a kill on the Tidehunter. And the Drow Ranger will live. So I kind of feel like this is public enemy number 1 for OGHC. Or no, did she die in the last fight? I think she just died, right? I'm not sure. So that will delay her farm quite a bit, and she does resign to just kind of farm up in the jungle. And hold on in the mid lane. That's going to be a kill on the Lich. Brewmaster getting that last hit there. Looking like Sniper's going to build into the Shadow Blade. Not entirely surprised there. Gives Sniper a little bit of a escape mechanism. I personally am not a huge fan of it, but to each their own. And Brewmaster sitting on a DD rune to go ahead and throw out the homing missile, taking quite a bit of damage from the Sniper right clicks. I don't think they knew they had vision on him. He does go ahead and blink out. And nice way to deny this DD rune. So they are going to go ahead and try and chase it out, it looks like. And Sniper's going to go ahead and use the Assassinate, and that's a dead Brewmaster. The Rocket Barrage is going to be used. Not quite going to kill the Visage, and that's going to be a dead Visage thanks to the Gyrocopter. And the Darkseer did get the kill on the Brewmaster, so nice clutch play from Fizmo on the Enigma yet again. Getting off that nice, those nice right clicks there. Didn't even have to use the Malefice to take him down.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So we almost have a completed mechanism for the Lich. I'm surprised he hasn't built into boots yet. You really want to get that movement speed up. But they must think they need to value the mechanism above all else, which I don't necessarily blame them for. And maybe they might be going for 2 mechanisms here. Which the auras for those do not stack, but you still have the 2 heals. And I'm not sure if you pop the heal on one mechanism, does it pop the cooldown for the other? I'm not sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Homing missile will go down. It is going to be used on the Brewmaster yet again.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And that's going to be a tier 1 tower down for OGHC. Drow Ranger split pushing yet again, and OGHC are going to group up as 5 in the mid lane. Looks like they are going to try and push and maybe take down this tower. They haven't... Oh no, excuse me. They did take down this tier 1 tower. But yeah, in the mid lane, Drow Ranger will go ahead and use the Gust. I always forget what that's called, because it was changed. It used to be just a Silence, I believe. The Shrapnel will be used to give them a little bit of vision. Homing Missile will be used on the Drow Ranger. It does so much damage. It does... How much damage? That does 375 damage. Gosh. So we do have a bit of a standoff in the mid lane. Darkseer is going to go ahead and back off, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and decide to split off and farm. We do have 3 heroes farming up the jungle. We have Brewmaster, Tidehunter, and Drow Ranger farming up here. And look at these aggressive wards from OGHC. Look at this. They know that they need to farm up the jungle. And just been blocking off those camps. Not really doing... They do have aggressive wards on the side of Kappa Crusaders. Actually, quite a few aggressive wards. They really want to know what's going on. Sniper is getting close to his Shadow Blade, which isn't going to necessarily help their damage output a ton, but it will be nice if he needs that as an escape mechanism. And Drow Ranger is starting to pull ahead and farm, but all the next 3 heroes are all OGHC heroes. So if we look at the gold graph, it is slightly favoring OGHC. XP also slightly favoring OGHC. So I think they need to go ahead and start pushing now to kind of press the advantage that they already have. Because they're just kind of grouping up in the middle lane here. Not really doing too much, just kind of a lot of standing around. Just kind of waiting for the other team to push or, you know, do something like that. So they go ahead and ping out the Darkseer. It looks like they wanted to engage on him, but not quite. So Sniper will finish up that Shadow Blade. And the Brewmaster really had to go a long way to avoid that homing missile.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tidehunter continuing to farm up in the jungle here. He does have his Blink Dagger, so it'll be nice for initiation. I would expect to see a BKB next on Enigma, and it looks like that will be the next item. Very nice item for Enigma. Especially with the Blink Dagger. You just pop the BKB, blink, and black hole, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's really nice. So I'd expect to see some sort of damage item for Sniper come out next. Gyrocopter does have the Helm of the Dominator. And the Grave Chill will be used on Enigma. He does get blown up thanks to the Visage and Skywrath Mage. That Soul Assumption and Arcane Blast just doing a ton of damage. Excuse me. Concussive Shot, excuse me. And that'll be a Drum of Endurance completed for Gyrocopter. And Visage did get a kill on the Sniper, so that's kind of a big deal for them. And this Darkseer getting quite ballsy. Gyrocopter coming in with a Rocket Barrage, doing a ton of damage. The Homing Missile is going to catch out Visage. Let's see if they're able to clean him up. Yes, the right clicks will take him down. And that's going to be a 1-for-2 exchange favoring Kappa Crusaders. Enigma is going to go ahead and teleport back in. The Skywrath Mage did get that kill on the Darkseer, which I did miss. So that is going to be a 700 gold swing favoring the Kappa Crusaders, which is definitely needed right now. A nice War Stomp going to oh, and the Black Hole going to catch out the Brewmaster split, and the Tidehunter coming in with a nice Ravage, and that's going to be 2 down on the side of OGHC. Brewmaster killing the Lich and the Enigma. And Gyrocopter going to go ahead and try and retreat, but the Brewmaster, he does have that Blink Dagger, and they are going to be able to go ahead and close the gap. And, yeah, that Thunderclap is going to go ahead and take him down. So a bit of a misplay from the side of OGHC, and I feel like the lead that they had, they just kind of gave up by some careless initiation, which is a shame. I do believe everyone died in that last exchange, so that was more or less 5 heroes down on the side of OGHC. So let's take a look, and yes, huge gold swing for Kappa Crusaders as well as XP. So I think now you kind of try and hope that Kappa Crusaders, they try and, you know, they misstep. Thunderclap going to catch out Lich. Gush, no, it's not Gush. Yeah, that is Gush being used on the Sniper, and they are going to go ahead and push them back to the tier 3. Homing Missile will be dropped. Going to go ahead and be used on the Brewmaster, but he'll be able to tank through that no problem. And there we go. Sniper setting down another Homing Missile. Catches out the Drow Ranger. And she does have her Sanj and Yasha farmed up, so, and a Mask of Madness, so she is ready to fight. If we look at the other items, Brewmaster does have a Vlad's Offering and a Hyperstone. Hold on. Enigma taking quite a bit of damage from the Visage and the Drow Ranger. And the Calldown will be used. Gonna catch out the Visage. He does take just a little bit of damage from it thanks to that Gravekeeper's Cloak. And the Rocket Barrage will be used, and I think that's going to be a dead Visage. And no! Gyrocopter goes down thanks to the Drow Ranger. And the Enigma's trying to go man mode against the Drow Ranger. That's going to be 2 down on the side of OGHC. And, yeah, this Drow Ranger is starting to show just how powerful she is. And yeah, it was Visage who got that kill on the Gyrocopter. Those last couple of hits there. And unfortunately, you can slowly start to see OGHC's grip on the game fade away. But up till now, they've been giving it a very, very good go. The old college try, as it were. And Lich will go ahead and finish up his mechanism. Tidehunter looks like he's going to be building into a Refresher Orb. No surprises there. Skywrath Mage does have the double Staves of Wizardry. And okay, Darkseer is going to be building into a Black Hole. Only catches out 3 Brewmaster pandas, so a bit of a wasted ultimate there. Not going to do too much. He does blink away into the trees, and What a cheeky play. They don't know that he's here.
Dire's top tower
They do try and take down some trees thinking that he blinked down here, but no. Yeah, I would assume they think that he just TP'd out, and it looks like he's waiting for mana to TP out. Let's see if he's gonna... Yeah, he does go ahead and TP's out. So after those drums of endurance, Gyrocopter's build has... His farm has really been quite delayed. It seems like he's just been really spending a lot of time kind of running back and forth, trying to, you know, kind of put out fires, as it were, instead of spending time
Dire's top
farming.
tower is under attack.
And yeah, and that just shows Drow Ranger's farm is almost double that of Gyrocopter's. So it definitely seems like, at least as far as Drow Ranger goes, as the carry for and hold on, we are gonna have Lich blown up by the arcane bolt from the Skywrath Mage. Homing missile will be used on the Brewmaster, and the calldown will be used. It is going to land on the Brewmaster and the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger taking quite a bit of tower damage here. The Ravage is going to catch out two. The Drow Ranger does get a kill on the Gyrocopter as the Drow Ranger does go down. So that's going to be a 1-for-3 exchange favoring Kappa Crusaders so far. And this fight has just been so spread out. It's been very hard to keep up with.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
these
is
heroes
under
are
attack.
making it out of here barely alive. The Skywrath Mage is escaping with roughly 100 HP. Brewmaster needs to go into the jungle to farm up. And somehow in that exchange, the Courier was also taken down. So a bit of Courier mismanagement there. But yeah, unfortunately, this gold graph that was once favoring OGHC no longer favors them. It favors Kappa Crusaders now. And the Couriers are dead on both sides. I didn't realize that. That's great. But yeah, as far as the carries go on the side of OGHC, I feel like, in comparison to the Drow Ranger on the side of Kappa Crusaders, the Drow Ranger has just been way more efficient with farming and being able to do that. And a nice Thunderclap going to catch out the Lich as the Concussive Shot Arcane Bolt combo will be used. The Chain Frost will be thrown down. And yeah, not much is coming out of that, unfortunately. So it's definitely a bit of a hashtag space created type situation in the mid game.
Are fortified.
Nice blink away from the Brewmaster there, just barely escaping from the Enigma. And all the while, Drow Rangers just continue to farm. She is level 16 compared to the Sniper and Gyrocopter, which are level 13, so... They unfortunately have not been putting the pressure on her that is needed to really just delay her farm and really keep her from getting super strong. She is almost going to have a Daedalus built. In fact, she does. It's on. I think it's going to be on the way out on the Courier once it respawns. And if we look at the CS, yeah, the situation's still the same. The Drow Ranger is definitely out farming the Gyrocopter and even the Sniper. And the Brewmaster is close to the Assault Cuirass, which is just a fantastic item. I do think that Assault Cuirass is one of those kind of unrated items, in my opinion. It gives you additional armor and a armor debuff, which is really nice. So, I do like it quite a bit. Plus 15 armor, plus 35 attack speed. No, plus 55 attack speed. Plus auras. Just a good item. I like it a lot.
My damage redoubled.
And this Lich still hasn't picked up boots. Support life. Ugh. Woof.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And looks like we might have a bit of engagement forming up in the mid lane.
Denied.
And Gyrocopter did deny that tower, so Nice little bit of gold they're keeping out of the hands of Kappa Crusaders. So Brewmaster does have that Assault Cuirass finished up, and Drow Ranger does get that Daedalus. Neither team has quite taken advantage of Roshan yet, which I'm a little bit surprised about. Rod of AUI going to be making its way onto Skywrath Mage. I think he's had that for a while. Visage going to be building into the Ag Scepter, of course. Enigma is so close to that BKB, which is just such a great item for him, as I talked about earlier. And, yeah, we are going to have Kappa Crusaders moving up into the jungle here, trying to make some plays happen. Brewmaster is in the mid lane, and this Enigma, I don't think... Okay, he sniffs him out. He knows that there's some heroes there. So he is going to go ahead and... Yep, he's going to go ahead and TP back in, back to the base. So he'll be quite safe there. And Sniper, oh, Brewmaster is going to go ahead and blink down. The wall is going to be used. We are going to see a Brewmaster split come out, as he does do quite a bit of damage to the Gyrocopter. Chain Frost is going to bounce around like crazy. The Arcane Bolt and the Skywrath Mage ultimate is going to take him down, no problem. The Mystic Flare, right? That's what it's called. As the Brewmaster split does finish up, we do have quite a bit of personnel coming up into the jungle here. The Arcane Bolt and the Ancient Seal are going to be used on Enigma. He does pop the BKB. Dark's here in a bit of a troublesome spot here. He will go down. The Black Hole's going to catch out 3. The Ravage is going to be used, but unfortunately Enigma will go down, and that's a 5-man team wipe going the way of Kappa Crusaders. And, yeah, unfortunately that Tidehunter just really great at counter-initiation with that Ravage. As soon as he saw that Enigma Black Hole went down, he went ahead and popped the Ravage, which I'm not sure if Enigma was BKB'd up or not. I don't remember. I feel like he was not. Well, no, if he no, he was BKB'd up because it would have interrupted the Black Hole. So they popped the Ravage, and they really didn't even need it. They survived through it no problem because there wasn't any follow-up damage. And the Gyrocopter is going to go ahead and drop the call down, but it's just not going to matter as they go ahead and almost start tower diving here. The Sniper is doing quite a bit of right-click damage. The Gush will be deployed on the Sniper, and Enigma's going to go ahead and pop the Malefice on the Visage. Vacuum, oh, and Visage is going to go down thanks to the Vacuum and the Gyrocopter. And this poor Gyrocopter just has not had a good time. He built... I remember looking at the clock and thinking, I think it was 20 minutes. He built a Drum of Endurance, or 22 minutes or so. He has not had anything else in the last 10 minutes besides this Ogre Club. And, yeah, that's just a tough situation. It just kind of shows you how well the Kappa Crusaders have recovered from their early game. So rough life there. So he does need about another 1,000 gold to go ahead and finish off the BKB. Drow comes in and snipes down Roshan. Didn't even notice she was doing it, so totally makes sense for her. She does have her Eagle Song. Ugh. And just absolutely massively out-farming everyone else on the side of Kappa Crusaders. Or excuse me, on the side of OGHC. Tidehunter does finish up that Refresher Orb, so life just became hard. And Drow Ranger has just been farming up a storm. And if you look at the kills, well, Drow Ranger has 5, but Visage has 6, Brewmaster has 7. Skywrath Mage has 4. I feel like Drow Ranger hasn't even been a huge, hasn't been totally involved with a ton of fights. So they've just been content to just basically fight 5v4. And if your carry Drow Ranger hasn't even been a part of those fights yet, that's scary business. And we do have Kappa Crusaders once again coming in through the jungle, and Gyrocopter going to be quite caught out here, and he will go down thanks to the Visage. Sniper does try and throw down a consolation shrapnel. Drunken Hage going to be thrown down on the Lich as they do heal up, and oh, the Ravage going to catch out 2, and the the Black Hole counter initiation going to catch out 3, and the Refresher Ravage catching out 2 or so, I don't know how many. Refresher. So that's going to be 5 down on the side of OGHC, and I was going to say that Skywrath Mage Mystic Flare did catch out 2 up by the tower, which was a nice little combo there. So this is, Drow Ranger has started to contemplate, or no, she sneaks up by the well to grab her butterfly. I think you can come in like right here and still shop. So this is pretty much the end. These tier 4s are starting to become quite low. And Drow Ranger, look how much damage she's doing. 400, 229 plus 201, 430 damage. Man. Math is hard, by the way. And yeah, I kind of just feel like this is just for funsies here. And Drow Ranger just going ham on these heroes. No problem taking down the sniper. That's 2 down, that's 3 down, that's 4 down. And yeah, they're not quite fountain diving. This is just by that Ag's Scepter. And yeah, it's looking like P-Frog's going to go ahead and finish us up, as that is going to be the game. And unfortunately, OGHC is our first elimination from the We Like Dota League, so we bid you guys adieu. Yeah, I feel like OGHC really did have a pretty decent early game, but yeah, the mid and the late game, they just let that Drow Ranger just farm up as much as she wanted, and wasn't too much of an issue for Kappa Crusaders. So they just got that Drow Ranger nice and farmed up, and yeah, but good games from both sides of the river there. So we will miss OGHC, but good game, well played, and excited to see what Kappa Crusaders can do next. So thanks for joining, everybody. If you're not aware, we do have a podcast. You can check it out at welikedota.com. That is kind of the main event, if you will, of what we do as We Like Dota, but we are also putting on the league, and also we have a YouTube channel as well. So just go to welikedota.com and check out all that information. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll be back Friday at 9:30 for the huge douches versus Noobs Ask Noobs, which is, spoiler alert, my team. So that'll be interesting. So thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you Friday.